Exactly 10:42, and we're going to be having a beautiful conversation with an incredible, inspirational woman, thespian entrepreneur, and fitness guru Thandy matlaila has once again chosen to use her love for running to give back to the community through her Thandokazi Foundation. Good evening to you, and thank you so much for joining us, Thandy.
Good evening, my gorgeous lady.
How are you?
I'm very blessed, thanks. And how are you
Ah,
tonight?
I love your energy. That's amazing. Now let's talk about your love for running, how it started, and your eventual inclusion into athletic communities or social spaces.
Well, I've been a runner since school. I used to, and then just after high school, I just kept running 5Ks just to keep space to.
Things ever, okay? Mentally and otherwise. I mean, you're very tiny, so I don't even know why you need running, honestly. But I can
No, but
understand. I can understand it's good for mental health as well. For mental clarity, actually, not for mental health as such. But I think I get addicted to the feeling afterwards, after running, which is very addictive, and so it's very understandable. But I've still got to say, you're a brave woman to be running and running and running always. So yeah. Your Tanya, I wanted to know, your foundation focuses on empowering and developing young men and women through sports, participation, wellness, and self-awareness. What gaps or challenges have you spotted that limit these young ones from reaching their athletic aspirations and to thrive on and off the field?
I think one of the major things is the fact that sports is not taken as seriously as academics. And I'm sure you can testify for that. When you're at
Mm-hmm.
bursaries, all scholarships, all had to do with, academics. And
Right.
I heard and I realized that actually I don't think as a nation or as a generation we are being fair because not everybody is intellectually gifted. And we have to be honest. And it doesn't make them stupid. It just means that they don't have a certain intellect capacity. But that does not mean that they cannot excel in other things. And I just realized that what would happen if we would empower young girls and young boys from a young age to show them and to prove to them that they're actually very talented. They don't need to be A students. I'm not saying academics are not important, but they don't need to be A students if they can focus on their talents. Imagine how many Casta Semenya we would have, how many Shakiris we would have, how many
Mm-hmm.
Glen Rose Abas we would have if we would actually tell or show these children that I see you, we've got you, and we can help you to become a better version of yourself. Yeah.
I mean, you wear two hats, as a thespian, but as an athletic runner who understands the power of discipline and resilience. What do you believe African youth need the most today to unlock their full potential, both in sports and in shaping the future of the continent?
Self-awareness.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure,
Nothing more.
for sure.
Self-awareness. Once you know who you are and you understand your power, then you're not in competition with anybody. You are okay to clap for the next person because it takes nothing away from who you are because you are confident enough and you are aware of who you are. So clapping for the next person does not diminish your light. In fact,
Mm,
it makes your light shine brighter.
mm, mm,
And I've got a saying that I like to use that confident women don't compete, they complement. And
mm.
I live by that. There's nothing I love more than complimenting women, embracing women, and making them understand that I'm not here to compete with you. I'm really here to embrace who you are. Already, we've got
Right.
so we've got so many things that we are fighting with. Why are we fighting amongst ourselves? You know what I mean?
It's a very good question.
You know,
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I totally agree with you. So, I mean, more than anything, I think, simply said, sportsmanship, comes with a lot of that, being in constant competition with yourself, so I truly, truly believe in what you're saying. And I guess that self-assurance is really, really hard to come by, actually, to be honest, when it comes to sportsmanship. So I thoroughly, thoroughly agree with you. In 2024, your foundation partnered with Central Gauteng Athletics. What was the partnership about?
Actually, that partnership is this year.
Okay. Congratulations on that one. Can you tell us more about it?
Thank you very much. So last year when I did the initiative, it was literally a one-man show. It was just myself and Lorraine. So Lorraine is like my right-hand woman. She's there with me throughout everything. And I realized that if I want to reach more children, if I want to reach more development clubs, I need to go to the hub of where all these clubs are. So I reached out to Central Gauteng Athletics and I said to them, I'm only privy to know certain clubs that I associate with, but you guys have got the whole database. You know what I mean? So you know which clubs need assistance the most. And what I'd love for you to do is to identify 2 for me. It must not be in the north because I already did Alex last year, Alex running club. So, and I said to them, anywhere else in Central Gauteng, if you guys would help me to identify those clubs. And they came on board and they identified 2 development clubs. And I'm very happy with their choice, because when I was looking at the championships in terms of being represented outside of the province, you would see Katlehong Athletics Club, you would see Warriors of the West. Even this past weekend, I think 4 or 5 of their athletes took part in the SA National Championships for the 10 kilometers. So I was like, great choice. So yeah, that's why I partnered up with Central Gauteng.
I mean, Thandy, you do monumental work. And really, I'd really like to take a closer look what the foundation is all about. When was it founded and what propelled you to start it?
A lot of things actually propelled me to start the foundation, but I've never wanted to run a foundation. I don't want to lie to you, because I just think it's a lot of admin and I don't like dealing with people's monies. I just want to do the work. Do you know what I mean? I just want to go out there, empower children, give talks, give out whatever. But obviously, as you grow, you obviously attract bigger brands. And those brands came to me, and one of those was Hollywood Foundation. They said, Thandy, we really love the work that you're doing, but we need to be able to account where the money's going. And I'm like, no, you guys can buy the things, give them to me and I'll distribute. They're like, no, we will give you everything and you go ahead and do everything. So that was primarily one of the reasons why I started the foundation, because the people or the brands that I want to partner up with need to account. And if you want to reach more people, then you will really run the entity like a business. And it's tricky because I don't know how to run a foundation. I just know how to do the groundwork. Yes. So much that I'm actually now going through consultations in terms of how do you go about getting funding for the foundation, because you need to do the work for the different schools, because there's so much that I want to do in the foundation outside of giving out sports bras and sporting apparel. I want to have bursaries, for kids to be able to study sports biokinetics, to sports admin, or whatever the case might be, but in the sporting and wellness sector. Normally you would get bursaries for kids to go do engineering, accounting, finance, law, but nobody really focuses on the kids who just want to play tennis, who just want to play soccer, you know what I mean? who just really just want to run.
Yeah, no, it's very true. I mean, speaking as an athlete, there's a massive need for your Pilates instructors, your biokineticists, your physiotherapists, who literally are who embody themselves working with pro athletes in terms of maintenance and making sure that the body is fully functioning, because you only have one instrument. And I speak from experience, so you're going about it so well and so gracefully, and you're definitely going the right track as well, because there's such a massive need for that, because there's an energy that needs to be that needs to be placed in the correct place for people who are suffering with who are not able to focus in one place,
Yeah.
and here you are creating a foundation where this energy can be put to good use, so I'm really happy to hear this I'm really happy to be having this conversation with you. And now, speaking of the 22nd of November, tell us about what is taking place, the big handover here in Johannesburg.
So on the 22nd of November, which is this coming Saturday, I have the handover for the recipients that Central Gauteng Athletics and myself identified for this year, which is the Warriors of the West and Katlehong Athletics Club. What we will do is obviously then we'll be handing them their running shoes, we'll be handing them their sports apparel, their running bras. But also another entity that I put in for this year was I want to assist the continent, because I know that it's not only a South African thing, where we want to end period poverty, because so many girls miss school, so many girls miss playing out and participating in sports because there's this thing, that is preventing them from participating, because they also don't know how to handle it, or they probably don't have the resources to buy the right care packs for whatever it is that they are going through. So I had SPA come on board with the
Oh,
SPA.
wow. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. But one of my other greatest things that I'm trying to do, because on Saturday it's actually a sporting event. They have got the sub youth championships, and I want to teach them from a very young age, because I noticed it with my peers and people in my age group. And since you are a former athlete, you would also know this. Most athletes don't know how to treat that career as a career. I don't know if I make sense. They don't know that they are the brand. So they need to carry themselves as such. You know what I mean? Most people complain that our South African athletes don't have partnerships, or they're not getting brand endorsements. And I say to them, it's nothing personal. It's not because you're black. It's not because you play. It's because the brands right now, when they look at you, not just you, but your socials and how you carry yourself, they don't see the alignment. You know what I mean? They really don't see the alignment. So I also then want to have seminars where I'm teaching these young girls and boys that when you're out at a public space like that, and this is a career path for you, carry yourself as the brand. When your Nikes are there, when your Adidas is there, when your Total Sports is there, when they look at their brand and they look at you, do they see synergy? You are not going to be at the race, and once you are done running your 10Ks, you're smoking heavily. Remember, at a running event, that is your office. Just like where you are right now, that's your office. At a running event, I know for a lot of people, it's a social gathering, but for you, that's work. For you, that's your office. Conduct yourself accordingly.
No, that's really profound, man. I can't, I couldn't have said it better myself. But yeah, it's an industry that really needs a lot of crafting, and there's a lot of education that always has to go into this. I always say one has got to be in pursuit of being the master of their craft, understanding the politics, the makings of the athlete. At the age of 42, still performing on stages. Listen, this is a craft that I respect highly, because the mind comes first, then the body second. So I thoroughly agree with you that you
I
can never stop educating our young Africans about the importance of branding, and in terms of the athletic space. And of course, you can make a very, very sustainable career of being an
yeah.
athlete. So thank you so much, Thandy, for joining us this evening, and just really talking to us about the important work that you do. And really, it's not just about the important work, but a certain level of immense mentorship, immense level of support to the kids as well, because you'd be surprised the kind of backgrounds that these kids come from, but the constant support through your foundation, man, I'm in awe of you. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
much, and I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, that was Thandy, a thespian and entrepreneur who is now just doing such incredible work with her Thandokazi Foundation. And it's all about racing, running, raising the funds in order to support our kids. And when it comes to the kids, my heart melts, really. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. We'll be back in just a moment, just to wrap up the hour.